can't seem to get my words out right this week. We continue to have a great run at the barn. We had a great night last night, 2 winners. We had a great week. And it was marred by an industry accident. The entire industry was marred. It's almost like I have a governor on me right now, and I can only exert a certain amount of enthusiasm and happiness and excitement about how the rest of our year could go. And I don't think that's fair to you. It leaves you a bit confused, right? I'm a very upbeat, optimistic person. And when I can't be optimistic or upbeat, that's unfair to you. Especially when it has nothing to do with you or our barn. We're having a bad run, sure, I'm going to be a little depressed. This isn't that. So I'm going to do what's fair. Every so often, whether I'm stuck for time or actually a small list of reasons why, I'll just bring you one list. Just like a Wednesday, middle of the week update on your horses, because I owe that to you. That's my job. My job is to make sure that you are updated, regardless of how I feel. And as I said, I am very happy with the run that we've been on. I'm enthusiastic about what the rest of 2025 will look like. But this week in March, that changes everything for the right now. Not for me personally, just overall, my overall outlook of life this week. So, I don't want anybody to worry about me. The outpouring of support for Hunter has been immense all across the world. I was saying in my video I did for an update on Friday's races that they're wearing armbands in New Zealand for Hunter. Racetracks everywhere, all over North America, a moment of silence, trying to fundraise for this young man's family. I don't think I've ever been more proud to be in this industry than I was yesterday, just scrolling through Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever. But I don't think I can give you an update that you deserve. I don't think I can give the horses the proper praise that they deserve today. So I'm just going to give you an update if you don't mind. I'll get past this. I'll get over it. But it takes time. And I think I'm still in a phase where I feel a little guilty when I start to feel a little happy about the way things are going for us. So let's get right through the list. ACDC had his splints cryo last week. He is trained now. We didn't train today. There was a lot of temperatures run in the barn over the last 4 days. No sickness to speak of other than high temperatures. The horses did not come off their feed that much, so that's good also. What we were left with was just a quick run-of-the-mill virus. I believe it's quick. I saw last week slight temperature and some filled up back legs on Millie Girl and a number of other horses the day before we trained. On training day, they were over. There was no temperatures, still slight swelling in those back legs, just edema. It was gone by the time the horses warmed up. But no temperatures to speak of before or after training. So fairly fast-moving virus that went through our barn. And it was in the midst of hitting a few of our horses right now. Captain Incredible couldn't train yesterday. And it may impact the fact that I wanted to take him to school on Tuesday. I don't know if we can now. That will be, as I like to say sometimes, a game time decision. I hate when I do that. It's so annoying. But for the younger horses, between the rain, some high temperatures that were run, splints that were cryoed, a couple that were castrated, just shut it down. I told Amy today she was going to the barn. As many of you know, if you watch my videos, they had what's called an honor walk for Hunter today at the hospital, and I attended that. Now, I didn't get home till late from Ontario last night. I was up at 5:30 to drive to Pittsburgh, so a little tired also. So your update might be a little somber and a little, and it might look a little tired as I do it. But you know what? I'm going to get through it. As I said, ACDC, splints crowd, he's fine now. He could have trained today. There was no temperature, virus, sickness of any kind detected with him, but it was raining. Aunt Sarah seemed fine also. She gets better every single week. Love what I see with her. Blue Rare was affected this week. Did run a temperature throughout the week. Was a little bit sick. No mucus, which I was really worried about with her. I didn't detect any mucus there, and she ate all her food. So pretty decent as far as sicknesses go. I'll take that one. So Blue Rare was affected this week. She did not train today. In fact, I don't even think she jogged today. Capistrano Knights was not sick this week also. Trained well middle of the week, and again did not train today. No one trained today because of the rain that was at Northfield Park. Captain Doolittle had a couple of splints cryo. Those should go a long way to maybe helping him and clean up that gait just a tiny bit more as we start to feed him a little more speed in the coming weeks to go. The Cherries girl had that quarter crack fixed. We had put a bar shoe on her also. I'm eager to see how she's going to respond this week. After, especially after having the weekend off, letting that quarter crack grow down a little bit more. I want to be the one to go with her on Monday morning, and I'm going to try to be the one to go with her on Monday morning. Get gas. Degas, it looked much better with the hobbles on the other day. Again, she does have a couple of splints, but Dr. Latessa said, no, don't poke the bear with these splints just yet. You know, just because a horse has splints does not mean you have to cryo them. If they're sore under palpation, and it's pretty easy to grab them and see, then of course you can cryo them. But if they're not, you better just leave them alone for the time being. Paint them, bandage them up front, start them. You could do them with ball solution, and then as that scurf comes off and those legs clean up, maybe just start painting them with a little ball solution full time, to see if you can keep them under control. And sometimes they do just go away. You know, they're present, they're there, you can see them, but they've never really bothered them. That does happen. And Dr. Latessa had said with Degas, just leave them be for now. Diosa Della Danza there's a few horses that have really come forward in a big way over the last 3-4 weeks, and this is definitely one of the top 3. Right here, this filly has looked great the last little bit. Don't Ask Again continues to improve. I know it's baby steps, and I understand a lot of our clients are looking for a little bit more. Geez, what do you think? What do you think she's going to be? Just let it play out. Let it play out. We get 2 months before June, 3 months before June almost. Let it play out, and then we'll see how she looks in June. Dune continues to train good and looks good in Ontario. Emerald Tom looked great on Wednesday. He would be close to the top of the food chain, I think, when it comes to our Ohio breds. And quite frankly, even in our stable, he's looked great the last 3-4 weeks also. Had to Know is now over his quarter cracks, looks good and is training good. He went on Saturday and looked fine. Okay. Go Strong Hanover. Every week, this horse is good. Every single week, and this week was no exception. He was awesome. I jumped over him to go to Head to Know. My apologies. Hanger 1, a little unorthodox way of training this baby to the track, but I think it's going to be beneficial. What I see in the barn is a horse that understands what his job is, I believe, and how to do it. Frustrated with the whole mechanics of getting there. So I'm just going to put some cardio into him, put some work into him, and then we'll swing him back into the trot first of the month. I think 1st of April, and see how he feels. But I like his demeanor. I like the way he's doing his work, and he is very fast. We just need to put it all together. He's a Fearless Peter. He gets better every week. One of those under the radar, kind of fly under the radar every week type horses. He's been doing his work very, very well, obviously, for virtually since we castrated him. And that was, as they say, the TSN turning point for sure with this guy. And he's looked great all along through the spring, through the winter and into the spring. Highest honor is much like the one we just talked about since we castrated this horse. He went from frustrating, annoying, obviously fast, to one of the better horses that we have in the barn. He looked great again training the other day. In New York, baby steps with this guy. Every time I go with him, I like him, and you just have to have everything perfect. You have to use him in the right way in the training mile. As long as you train him within his parameters that he has set, and he's not a bad horse, he likes his work, but as long as you play by the rules that we've agreed upon before the training set, everything will be fine. You start pushing him in places he doesn't like to be pushed, in the straightaways, right? He just doesn't respond the same. And when he's good, he's really fun to watch and really fun to be around. When he's not good, or you push him and you catch him on a bad day, he's frustrating sometimes. But overall, I've been happy within New York. Jailbird Jog, I think this filly, what's the date today? 22nd. I'm going to say by April 5th to 8th, you're going to see a breakout mile from this filly. She's already looked very good from time to time, but she's never looked in that beautiful, fluid, man, that's a nice filly type way. You could always see the rough sketch of a nice horse. That looks like it could be a nice horse right there. You're going to see what I'm talking about very soon with this filly. Jo J. Fotag, better now, continues to do her work pretty good. She made a break on Tyler the other day, but quite frankly, I had said to Tyler after I saw what had happened, she likes her hobbles on tight, right? And Tyler just kept sneaking them out a little bit, and she made a break on him the other day. She likes her pants on tight, that's all. So there's nothing wrong with that. And Jo J. Fotag, aside from that, you take out that, if you believe what I just said about the hobbles, and then look at her work over the last 3 weeks, she's done very good work. Jolene Hall, she did get sick this week. She was sick. Legs blew up, coughing yesterday, slight temperature last night, higher temperature today. I suspect by Monday she'll be fine. And we do have the vet come in. This isn't me just saying temperature, she'll be fine. We do treat the horses medically when they are sick. It isn't just, well, keep an eye on her and then keep me updated. No, we have the vet come in, give the horse some anti-inflammatory, some bute, drag their temperature down. Usually if we do have to do that 2 days in a row, we'll start running maybe some IV fluids or electrolytes through them also, maybe more than we usually do. So these horses we're watching them all very, very closely. Judy's Money was good training the other day, better last week. And I'd said to Jason, I think what you're seeing is a filly that is good. I think she's the type filly, it might be a really handy type Buckeye filly. I'm trying to think of a horse that reminded me of her over the last few. I can tell you one, My Jazz. Kind of meat and potatoes. Geez, I'd like to see her do a little more. And then come summertime, you're like, what an overachiever this filly is. Just a nice filly. And that's the feeling I get from her. The days when she isn't good, she still looks good. She just looks like she, fizzled out a little bit. And I saw that a lot from Jazz when she was training down also. So I wouldn't be too concerned. I do like Judy's Money. Leland Hanover, I think when push comes to shove, middle of the summer or earlier, you're going to see what we're talking about with this horse. 1, he's well bred. 2, he's got a beautiful frame. 3, he's got a good work ethic and a good attitude. He goes out and he gets his work done. He's already done a lot more work than he maybe could have or should have, in my understanding, as we get closer to the spring. Some of the work miles I've seen from him, when I go back and look at them, I rave about Blue Rare. Go watch Blue Rare's mile from 2 weeks ago, and then look at the horse she just got by at the wire. That was Leland Hanover. Leland Hanover is a very nice horse, I believe. Lifting Legend, I'll talk to you in a minute. Lifting Legend just continues to do his work well in Ontario. Nothing negative or positive to report. He's kind of an even Steven meat and potatoes horse right now. Now, what will he be when we get to the summer? Who knows? Those are always the types of horses when they get, it's such a baby steps type situation that you don't notice it until it's right in front of you. And you don't really notice it until the summertime. So another horse that you're going to have to watch push forward, do his work, kind of fly under the radar, and then we'll see what he becomes in the summer. Love Sensation, I'm very surprised how quickly this filly has put everything together, through the procedure she had done, and just missed time, and I just did not think she would put it all together this quickly, and she beat up on everybody the other day. I was surprised. I really was. I like this filly. When I talk a lot about these horses in the future tense, right? I think they're going to be fine down the road. I think by June you're going to see them. You hear me say this all the time because this is a process and it takes a lot of work. For her to do it right now, I'm shocked. I was very, very surprised. Very surprised. Megan's lucky day. Has her days where she's in a little bit of a rut. But again, had those big two nasty splints that were crowd the other day. I suspect that played a lot. The inconsistency, those play to splints and curbs, right? They're never always good. They're going to have bad days. And now that we've crowded these splints, I think the bad days are behind her, and we can start working on her consistency a little bit more. Millie Girl has been top of the food chain the last little while. She has been very, very good the other day. Like training the other day, she was awesome. Amy's been going with her. Everybody's gone with her. She's just a beautiful filly, and I cannot wait to see what happens with Millie Girl come June. Again, there you have it, future tense. But even right now, she is top 3, 5, easy in the barn, maybe top 2. My Name is Swain. He's putting it all together. She tied up the other day, though. We couldn't train her on Wednesday. Last week, she looked fine. I was planning on training her this week, and we couldn't because she had tied up. When we checked closely, her AST wasn't that high, so she would have been fine to train today. We just did not train today. Neuromancer, I can't say enough about this guy, and everything I say about this guy is in the future tense, right? He's doing it good right now. Not awesome, not great, just good. But I see him starting to figure it all out, starting to solve his own problems in throughout the mile, right? You'll see him running a bit, just kind of take a pause, push forward, right? Not retreat, push forward. And that's what I want to see from our horses, and I see that from Neuromancer all the time. Perfection Hanover, I know I sent the email out the other day and the video out the other day talking about how I just haven't seen him come back to his form that I saw at Christmas time. And somebody said, well, maybe we should train him harder. Maybe we should end with a vet. Maybe we should do this. Just pump your brakes. He's a 2-year-old. He's a baby, right? He'll come back around. There's nothing wrong. He went from him and Perfect Thought kind of being the top 2 in the barn, back-to-back horses we talk about, to him being, geez, what happened to that colt? Is he going to come forward anytime soon? And he's been training great. We've been in 29 or 30 with him. There's no complaints about how he's training. Just when I think about how he was at Christmas, he had that raw speed. And now it just seems to be more of a focused speed. I don't know if that really explains it well enough, but I did expect and do expect a little bit more from him. So again, he did get sick this week a little bit. Spiked the temperature yesterday, and he said it was 101.3 today. Not really deserving of any anti-inflammatories, but enough to keep an eye on as we go through the day and the weekend. Perfect Thought, her white count was 12 the other day. I knew the way she trained. She just wasn't. She'd been flat for a week. We ended up drawing her blood, scoped her. She was fine, but drew her blood and her weight count was 12. Something a little viral going through her also. So she obviously, the training trip, no training this weekend would help her. Hopefully by Monday we see a little more pep back in her step and see how she trains next week. Pretty Eyes and Lies, I've been very happy with her. She trained good the other day coming back. Rico Tubbs, both of those horses trained well. Riding the Rodeo has been good. Now I didn't get an update for today in Ontario, but James said she looked very good training the other day. Johnny went with her. Rose Run Bobby won her set on Wednesday. I've been very happy with Bobby. She's getting better. Little smarter now and starting to understand her work. Royal Duchess, man, she's really grown up. She's a big filly now and goes out. She's pretty ugly. And she trots, she's got an ugly gait, but she goes out and she gets it done. And that is important. That's more important than any kind of gait. Getting it done, understanding your work, and doing it the best of your ability is always front and center in our barn, and Royal Duchess seems to put that together well. Royal Flush Deal, we castrated him the other day. He did not get sick last week, so that's good. Usually he was one of the horses that always got it first, and it always lingered, but it wasn't with him this week, so that tells me he's getting healthier. Now I just need him to do his work, just a hair better. But he's been doing his work well. Knuckling over, we're working on that, blistering that stifle, changed his shoes, took all the grab back off, and went back just to normal old half round, half swedge on him, which is kind of a little rare for a trotter. But just threw the half round, half swedge on him because he was chopping at himself. See if we can get him cleaned up moving forward, get him past that knuckling over, put some more muscle in his stifles as we start to approach summer. Simply Chaotic has been training well. Dominic went with him the other day and said he went well. Solidarity is over. No breaks yet. I have heard of no breaks in Ontario yet, so I'm eager to hear the update from today with regards to Solidarity. Steady Volo did get sick this week, so he did not train on Wednesday, and he did not train today. He'll be back in action next Wednesday. Steph's Hope, I went with Steph's Hope. I can fix her, no problem. Put the hobbles on her. We've been beating our heads against the wall trying to train this filly. I can see her going along, wanting to do her work and rolling off. Put the hobbles on her. So that's exactly what Steph's Hope needed. Sterling Hanover, I sent him to Ontario yesterday. He's another horse, right? There's that Walner. Can't remember if he's dual eligible. He's definitely New Jersey. You don't need to tell me. I'm going to look when the video's over. And I will, he didn't need to train down at Northfield Park. Made a break coming out of the turn on me the other day, but was trotting well. And I'd said to James, you know what? He used to remind me of 3 Point Blue Chip a little bit with his moodiness, but since we've castrated him, that's dissipated immensely. And I just think that he's going to be a nice horse for us. So send him over to a bigger track, train on the 5/8 at First Line, and go down to Mohawk once in a while, the 7/8, and finish off our boy Sterling, but happy with what I've seen from him. Supermind continues to look good. One of our better trainers the last 2-3 weeks here in Ohio. Sweet Lake just got beat at the wire. I think Amy held me off with Millie Girl the other day, but Sweet Lake was charging. Very happy with what I seen with Sweet Lake. Tomboy Strong made in a very rare break the other day. Starting to pick up speed now. Going to get those flip-flops off of Tomboy Strong and let her rock here in the near future. Uncle Danny trained good the other day. Woodmere Bullet's been training good in Prince Edward Island. I've been told by Smitty he's been in 33, so probably around 28 or 30 this week, I would imagine. Zena Kemp, Splint's crowd. Then she spiked the temperature, so she definitely had the week off. She hasn't jogged since Thursday morning, and we'll have her back going on Monday. We'll switch to the 3-year-olds now. Arrowhead Hanover will likely be in next Friday. We'll talk about Mounds for All in a minute. So I had a lot of people ask, why would we tag Mounds for All? Why wouldn't we? He's not good enough to race in the Elmers a 7 at Mohawk if they had such a thing. They said, well, he won at 55. The Meadows a pretty fast track. Okay, he won at 55. All right, I get that. They said, well, they claimed Irresistible Sun out of that class. Irresistible Sun's a better horse than Mounds for All. He was right now. Will he be in the future? I don't know. And I just don't see people claiming Mounds for All. If you want to, go ahead. I mean, it really doesn't matter if you won in 55 to win in the Elmers of 5, win in the Elmers of 5. If you can't do the next class up, who cares? You just need to go fast enough to win that lower class. Whether it be 55 or 58, I don't really care. Time means nothing unless, you're going to see the horse go forward. I don't think he's an open trotter. I think he's a nice horse. And I put him in where he can win. That's my job. I talked to Jason about it. I said, what are our options? He said, what about the class at the Meadows? I said, didn't club fill this week. Now we have Arrowhead Hanover for their next week. We could have entered them both, hoping they both get in. If Arrowhead Hanover doesn't get in because class doesn't fill, it's not the end of the world. He doesn't race till May in the what's it called? The Bunker Hill. That's May. I don't care if it doesn't go next week. I'll just school him again. Eventually it'll go, or eventually I'll go race him at the Poconos, or race him at Miami Valley or somewhere. But when it comes to Mounds for All, I don't want to miss any more weeks. We got him going good. Keep him going good. And if they want to scoop him, go ahead. Where are you going to race him? His class at the Miami Valley goes for $35,000. Goes for more money, and it goes faster. This is a 30 claimer that's going to go much slower. He's going to go on the track at 2 to 5 in that race at Northfield Park. He might go on the track at 5 to 1 or 6 to 1 at Miami Valley. I understand where people are going. Shot when I got, he just won 2 in a row at the Meadows. He's 1 start for being out of that class, and it's not even filling right now. There's no class for him at Mohawk that you can go out and just say, I couldn't in good faith send him to Mohawk and say, all right, we're going to race him here because that's where he's going to do good. What class is that? He's a nice horse, but I want to keep him a nice horse by putting him in where he can do well. So I already jumped ahead of myself because we weren't there yet. We were talking about Arrowhead Hanover. Qualifier was great. He can race next week if he gets in. If he doesn't, we'll train him up or school him, and that's that. Aunt Lily. Now, what might work, we could also school him on Tuesday if we wanted to. He qualified last Tuesday, and we'll know Tuesday morning by qualifiers if Arrowhead Hanover's class is going to go. If it doesn't go, we'll just school him on Tuesday. I'm going to bring Aunt Lily over and qualify her on Tuesday. Jason said she's ready to go. He thought going to the Meadows would be easier. Relax, Jerry. You don't have to worry about anything. We'll take care of it, okay? Blue Ventura was good the other night. Obviously, a bit of a difficult night for racing for me. I said this the other day, I probably should have been on the track. I don't remember a whole lot from Wednesday night, to be honest. I know that I replayed the races before I gave you guys the update, and when it came to Blue Ventura, it was pretty clear. I probably should have popped out of the 2-hole in hindsight, but when you have the favorite on the front, you're the second favorite in the 2-hole, that's where you stay. And it just didn't work out. He ended up racing really good, an easy second with the earplugs in, and raced good. Cadeau, I had people call me a couple weeks ago and say, should we sell Cadeau? He doesn't look like he's a Buckeye horse. We got a bunch of maidens. What are your thoughts on this? You're right. I just thought that I could win the maiden again with him. And yeah, we had Tyler on him, and he made a couple of breaks on Tyler. It happens. Not the end of the world. But now I'm left wondering, should we sell Cadeau? I don't know. Maybe we will. We'll see this week. Captain Incredible, if he's up to it, feeling good, comfortable, healthy, has a great Monday, I might take him over and school him in 2-2 on Tuesday. I don't think he's ready to go fast. His training mile, if he had been able to train on Friday, again, that 1.5 miles that I wanted to train him, Tuesday would have been a breeze. But with no training on Friday, no jogging because he was sick on Friday, jogging light Saturday, I'm going to have to jog him Sunday. If all those things look good, okay, fine. But he's not ready to go mile like 55 just yet. He's 2 weeks from doing that. Likely missed the first leg, maybe the entire series in the Meadows. I don't know yet. We'll see how that plays out with Captain Incredible. Century Legion, a good mile the other day, but again, he's still teetering on, are you going to stay in the barn or not? My hope is yes. But I think, like last week, this week will go a long way to answering that question. Chicago Hall, great qualifier from him. James thought he was a little bit flat, but his line certainly didn't look that way. Last half in 56-1, last quarter in 27-3. I was a little taken aback when James said that, but clearly the horse is on the right track moving forward. Country Dancing, he said she schooled good, but was a little flat too. But since he called Chicago flat, I think that must be a good mile. But Country Dancing will race. I don't think she has a class next week. They're off at Mohawk until Saturday. I suspect she'll race the following Thursday, Friday. Dancing by Myself is going to be leaving the barn this week. I just, with everything going on, I haven't been able to nail down a prospective buyer and get it done, but Dancing by Myself is going to be leaving us. Fire and Shine, I hope she races good. It hasn't drawn the inside yet, so it's really hard for me to rev her up knowing that it's a good chance I'm not going to continue on the march forward. So, you come off the car and you look left, you're like, all right, you got to take her back now. She just doesn't race good when you're retreating off the gate. She likes to leave, get spotted, follow, and then attack. And she hasn't had an opportunity to do that this year, so hopefully I get a chance to tonight, but it won't be easy from post 7. Foxy Seaside will come back in next week. We'll jog her up, train her up, get her ready. She may race once before she comes to Ohio in at Mohawk, but we'll see how that plays out. Freedom Hill is in tonight, race 5, my first drive of the night. She's probably coming in good. I don't know if she was 100% healthy last week. We didn't draw blood on her after the race. She seemed fine. She ate her food. She didn't have a temperature, and regardless of what was going on last Saturday, it really has less to do with this Saturday. Jason said she trained good this week and she's feeling better coming in, so I expect she'll race better. Gaslight Hall, couldn't gallop him today because I wasn't there and because it was raining, so they just jogged him. I'll gallop him slow on Monday and see how he feels. I might jog him. Actually, if I'm going to be at the barn jogging horses on a Sunday, I might just gallop him on a Sunday. Gorgeous Package races Sunday night. Just do the 7-hole. I'm going to go easy with her off the car. Put an ear hood on her. She can get a little rowdy coming off the gate. We'll put an ear hood on her, and we'll see how she races on Sunday. Grand old chap, and we've been training him all week long. This will be it. If he doesn't put it all together in a way that looks convincing over the next week, then I'm going to have to stop writing him doctor's notes, and he may have to be gone. I can't wait forever. If this was a smaller barn, then yeah, we could just wait and wait. If he's my own horse, I'd say, oh, well, just turn him out again and bring him back again. There's no doubt in my mind that horse would make the races someday. But at what capacity? In what timeline? I still can't answer that. He is running out of time in this barn. Grand Slam Dio raced good the other day, but not awesome. Her liver's still high, still 44. The level is 0 to 36. I've seen horses at 30s, low to mid 30s that can't function. So 44 is more than enough to take some of the wind out of her sails. And she just raced okay the other night. I expect a little bit more from her moving forward. And she will be going to Mohawk also to stretch out a little bit. I don't think she's going to do her best work on a half-mile track. But she is in to go on Wednesday. Gymboree, great again last night. She'll race next week and then likely off to the Poconos for the Weiss. But coming in sharp, so far so good. 2 for 2, 2 for 3, 2 for 2 in her last 2. Manhattan Money, I thought he raced well. I had a very easy email exchange with one of our clients today that said they were a little disappointed with Manhattan Money. And I answered the email very frankly. That disappointment, I think, is unfounded. If you're going to use speed as a barometer, looking at horses on a windy, rainy, cold night or a poor track, well, quite frankly, that's on you, right? Don't use speed as a barometer. It means nothing. Gymboree trots in 59 twice. I guarantee she'd trot in 55 right now if she had to. We don't need her to. I don't care about the time. I just care about how the horses are racing. When it comes to Manhattan Money, this is a gigantic 3-year-old trotting colt. Now, at 2, he raced good, but was not a stake factor or a contender in any way, shape, or form. He was present in the Stallion Series when he raced in it. He won the maiden before we put him away at the Meadows, and then we brought him back. At the very least, I think he's the same horse we turned out, right? Just is what he is. And I think he will get better. I think he will trot 56-ish. Might even see, 55 in a bit. That's 2 months away. And if anybody is disappointed with him, listen, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm a human being. I hope our horses come back good. I really hope they do well. But hope is not a good driver when it comes to horses, right? We all have hopes and dreams. But the reality of the situation is Manhattan Money is the same horse he was when we turned him out. There's nothing wrong with that. He's going to be a nice overnight horse. He's going to do us some good along the way. And I wasn't disappointed with him. Sure. I guess, in fairness, maybe a little bit, because I want to see him go out and do really well. But I don't think he did anything wrong. I don't think the horse raced poorly. He went 2-2, 2-1 in 2 minutes. Last half in 58 and a piece the other night. He's clearly advancing and getting better. Let's let him. Melisandre, obviously, pretty sad circumstances why she couldn't race the other day. The races were canceled. And Drew, lucky enough, they were nice enough to give us back. They were nice enough to give us back the 8-hole to see what we could do with Melisandre this week. So I'm not supposed to be there to drive her on Wednesday. I have to wait till the draw at 2 o'clock to see where it looks like money got in at Miami Valley, if any of the other horses get in. And then I'll decide what I'm going to do in preparation of not being there Wednesday. I asked Jason not to list me at Northfield, and I may not be able to go to the Meadows. But before any of those draws are finalized, before any of those changes are finalized, I'll know if I am going to Miami Valley. As of right now, it was my thought to go drive Looks Like Money in the Open, but is he going to get in? What's he going to draw? What race is he going to be in? Does it make sense to go? That will all be determined in about 3 hours. Memento Mori trained great the other day, 2-2, last quarter, 27-4, 28. I'll come back on the bike again with him this week. Maybe a schooler. Yes, maybe a schooler this week with Manhattan Money, or with Memento Mori. Mountaineer Prince, he did have a couple of splints the other day. He is going to school again on Tuesday and has not trained since last Tuesday because of these splints, but he is going to go over and school this Tuesday at the Meadows. Never Lose Felix races were canceled this week. He'll be back in to go Thursday. Oh, He'll Know went up to the field for a couple of weeks today. She does need a little break, right? Remember, we talked about what we were going to do, that template we were going to follow. but it does require a little rest before the stake season starts. So she's going to get 2 or 2.5 weeks before she comes back, gets ready, preps for her first Buckeye filly, her first Buckeye, and it is at Northfield Park, I believe, on the 17th or 19th of May. Resolve Indeed qualified. Okay, James said she was a little flat. She'll come back with another qualifier next week. I thought Roser and AJ raced okay. At least we found a class for him at Mohawk. He'll stay there for now. Roser and Alexander's in tonight at Northfield Park. We'll see how she races. Rosetta finished 4th the other night. The odd time, we have a client that owns a big chunk of a horse. And we do have two clients that own combined over 70% of Rosetta. And they've asked that we put her on gate. They were hoping for a stake filly. I don't blame them. They're hoping for a stake filly. And she's raced well, but they were looking to maybe unload her. So you may actually see Rosetta end up on gate first part of the week. That's not I don't think it's something that is necessarily imperative we do. I'm fine to race her a little bit more, but in this particular instance, there is more than enough shares in play with these two gentlemen that they can force a sale, and I'm not angry about it in any way. I don't blame them, and I'm happy to facilitate. That's my job. So you will see Rosetta likely up for sale on gate this week. Nice filly. She fits Oak Grove. That's open right now. She's a Kentucky, New Jersey filly. Does her work well, and actually does do her best work on a smaller track. Was a winner on a 5/8 already, a winner on a half, and a winner on a 7/8 this year already. So probably an interesting proposition for somebody out there looking for a 3-year-old trotting filly, and a decently bred one too, to go race in Kentucky and or New Jersey. Speed of Sound is back training now. I have not got an update of where they've been with her. I suspect around 25 or 30 this week. We'll see. Westland Warrior, a winner the other day. The horse just kind of rubs me the wrong way sometimes. I think he's a bit of a coward. I think he goes out and he does his work that he's made to do, but I think he could be an infinitely better horse if he put forth a better effort. And who knows, maybe that win the other night will shake some of that rust off him and shake some of his talent free, and he'll want to be that horse. And that generally does happen. When you get horses in where they can beat up on horses and their confidence starts to rise, you start to see them come back to life. It frustrated me a little bit this first 2 starts of the year. The one where he was lackluster with me, and then Ronnie kind of run away on Ronnie a little bit, half in 56, but the first chance he got to fold coming out of the turn, he did. I just want him to put forth a better professional effort, and I think that is coming very, very soon. I'm just literally just sitting here doing this video. Woodmere Betcha's probably been around 20. Should be ready to go in a few weeks from Smitty. Emerald Dio is back in to go Wednesday, middle of the gate. I thought he raced pretty good the other day. I was really conservative with him just because of what had happened, and I didn't know, is it prone to happen again? Is this going to impact the way he races? He is short. How is he going to do? If I had been a little more aggressive with him and made him fill the 2-hole, I'd probably go into the winner's circle. He was a fast closing second and in a good spot for this week. Arson, 6-hole in the Open at Northfield Park. The Meadows Open did not fill. We'll see how he races on Sunday. Drebin had some vet work done this week after his break leaving the gate the other day. The vet work that was done should really help this horse, so I'm really intrigued to see how he races on, I guess, Saturday? Maybe it is the next Monday, I'm not sure. Where are we at now? Drebin. Memory and Imagination will race hopefully Wednesday at Miami Valley. We'll see. That's where he's That's where he's been, and that's where he's entered to go. Mounds for All is in here this week, I believe Wednesday at Northfield Park. He's in the right spot. I don't think he's a layover. He's in the right spot, though, to be racing. Tenacious Hanover finally drew on the gate, the 2-hole this week. I actually wanted to gallop him a little bit today, but we didn't. He's never trained in between anyway. Not the soundest horse to be going out training in between. And I planned on just galloping him a little bit this week. Maybe just have him a little sharper going to the gate. But he's been good. A little flat the other day, but I suspect he'll be better this week. He might have had a little touch of the virus that everybody else did too, quite frankly, as I say it out loud now. Time is on my side. Is turned out he'll come back in about... Well, he'll be back in the 1st of April. So he'll be back in 9 days. He'll be back in the barn and getting ready to prep. Probably take us 3 or 4 weeks to get him back going. like back ready to race, and then I like to prep him once before the Jaravinsky in Ontario. Vehement is going to race, or did race the other day, finished second. Has the 9-hole on Wednesday, but again, I don't know what I'm doing yet on Wednesday afternoon. Save America trained awesome the other day. 2 minutes last quarter, 27 seconds. Looked very good. He's ready to rock. Spitfire Overseas will be in to go on Wednesday at Miami Valley. Had some bet work done to him. He should be much, much better. Tech Song Soprano, a good second the other day. So great job by Scotty and Megan again with Tech Song. Greatest ending, 8-hole. Not what I wanted to see on our Tuesday. We'll see what we can manage to do with that 8-hole Tuesday at Northfield. My plan is to maybe potentially get him. I'm going to look around. I had reached out to Mark Beckwith and asked him if he would take him back, if he'd race him in Plain Ridge, race him at Saratoga, but the Poconos, I can't disagree that maybe the classes there be more suiting to him. We'll see. I haven't made my mind up yet with Greatest Ending. Is there a rush? I just got to try to get him in a spot to do the best we can as soon as we can. JK Victory, as I said, I don't know where we're going to race him. Hopefully he gets in this week. His race was canceled on Friday. Looks like money has been lights out good. He's entered for a Wednesday at Miami Valley. We'll see how he does and if he gets in. Rock Shining Star, I trained him in 59 last half, 56 last quarter, 27-3 the other day. He was very good. 3-point Blue Chips races were canceled the other day, so he's going to be short his next start. We'll see how he races next week at the Meadows. Trosa is in tonight. I'm excited to see how he's going to do with Jody. James has got that killer of Anthony Hans in there again, and Megs. So we'll see how he matches up with him this evening. Yo Mister will be back in to go Wednesday also, or maybe he might have this week off. Delicious Stone DK, I've waited to announce this to you for a long time. A winner last night and looked very, very good. A great job by James and Dominic with Delicious Stone DK last night. And the other 10-year-old, Patrick DePrano, raced adequate the other day, is back in the backup class this week at Northfield Park. We'll see how he does. So that's it. It took me 42 minutes, top to bottom, to do your list. I think you all understand why I did it this week, this way. It's just a difficult week. So with that, I'm going to let you go. That's Jason. I'm going to talk to him right now. I hope you had a much better week than I did. Take care.